I truthfully am a person who believes that all points of view are extremely important, because as soon as you block points of view, you have absolute tyranny.
Is Andrew Tate a free speech hero? Or is he a cowardly snowflake who is a danger to free speech? First, let's take a trip down memory lane to take a look at Andrew's history with free speech. In 2017, the top G was banned on Twitter. Here's a clip of Andrew explaining why he was banned.
I was getting on a plane and I could see through the cockpit that a female was the pilot, and I took a picture and I said, most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane? And they banned me.
It was reported during this time that Andrew was banned for saying women should bear responsibility for being raped. He's often said this tweet was taken out of context. So for fairness' sake, here is some extra context to this exchange. Sexual harassment is disgusting and inexcusable. However, a man looking at you or whistling at you or asking your name isn't harassment. This belief doesn't discredit as a whole. Stick to the serious definitions and stop pretending normal male behaviour is rape. Secondly, Harvey, creep, obviously. But women have been exchanging sex for opportunity for a very long time. Some did this, weren't abused. Of course they will say they were abused. However, at the time, it was a simple exchange they partook in voluntarily. Not all, but some. Next point, if you put yourself in a position to be raped, you must bear some responsibility. I'm not saying it's okay you got raped. No woman should be abused regardless. However, with sexual assault, they want to put zero blame on the victim whatsoever. If you go out, meet a guy, take his drinks all night, go to his apartment drunk, start to kiss him, then he grabs your tits, not harassment. If I left $1 million outside my front door, when it got stolen, people would say, why was it there? Irresponsible. Take some personal responsibility. This zero blame game is damaging to the female cause as a whole. Protect yourselves. While liberals scream that nobody should rape, women can walk around naked and men shouldn't look, you import waves of third world migrants. That's a different point entirely. My point is this: if my sister was raped, I'd be furious. However, I'd ask details and say, why the fuck were you drunk at a dude's house you didn't know for? In those type of situations, pretending women are blameless and men shouldn't rape is stupid. People shouldn't steal. Poor prep temps. Easiest way to protect your daughter, teach her self-awareness and avoid poor decisions, or ensure that every man on earth won't rape her. Poor Andrew taken out of context again. In August 2022, Andrew suffered another violent attack on his free speech, with YouTube, TikTok and Meta all banning him within the same week, citing their hate speech policies. In November of the same year, Andrew was saved by the free speech absolutist. Elon Musk reinstated his Twitter account. He later spoke to Piers Morgan about his passionate belief in the freedom of speech.
For a while, I truthfully am a person who believes that all points of view are extremely important, because as soon as you block points of view, you have absolute tyranny. But I think that everybody needs a voice to a degree, and social media platforms are now the most important platforms on the planet. They control information and they influence real-world decisions, and they influence people's perception of reality. You're right. peers, but it was actually worse than interesting, because what happens is when you censor an entire side of the argument and only allowed one side of the argument to have a voice, you are changing reality in real time. You are shaping the world. I've read enough history books to know that the people who do the censoring are never the good guys. And they've been censoring a lot of arguments for a very long time in the name of good. They are weaponizing virtue, and it's always in the name of tyranny. Anybody who is out here trying to silence an entire side of an argument on any subject, whether it's COVID-19, immigration, anything else, they are the evil people who are out for absolute mind control of the populace. And that's the key to life. When you reach that level of adolescence in your mindset where you can't handle any point of view that is contrary to your own, then you're truly a broken person. And that's what the internet is purporting. It's very interesting you said about Twitter being tribal. There's a large contingent of people on Twitter who simply cannot handle reading an opinion which differs from their own. And that is a degree of immaturity that we do not need adults to be functioning with in the modern world. Free speech is beyond important for democracy. It's important for the reality that we exist under.
Strong statements from Andrew, showing his passion for free speech, and saying that anyone who can't handle seeing the other side of their argument is childish. Time to analyse how Andrew treats the free speech of others. Does he practice what he preaches? Here is a former member of Andrew Tate's war room, Eli, telling the news movement how he handles his critics on social media.
Eli makes wild claims that the war room can influence social media companies to control the narrative around Tate. They even use botnets, he says.
We have many Twitter employees, we have Instagram employees, TikTok employees. When we want to, we can delete an account, but our preferred method of choice, because deleting is kind of harsh. For small accounts, we can just mark them and that's it, and nobody really cares. But for bigger accounts, we use a thing called PR marketing campaigns and narrative control, meaning that we have big accounts that side with us. We have many smaller, real-looking, human-like accounts.
So if you tweet something against Tate online, both big accounts with ties to the war room and smaller bot accounts will challenge you with a pro-Tate narrative.
Whatever the perceived attack is on the Tate brand, that the marketing, the post, the tweet, the thread, whatever is purporting, we counter that with our Tate bots. We get big accounts to slander the person that's making that thread or that tweet or that post. I wasn't personally.
Surely Andrew Tate doesn't get accounts banned. Well, ask Crabman. He was an account who was critical of the Tates. Crabman came into possession of the War Room group chats. Just as he was about to release them, he was banned from Twitter. These group chats showed Andrew Tate and the War Room strategizing how to traffic women into sex work, just like the Tate brothers have been charged for. I've also spoken to numerous people who've had accounts deleted or shadow banned after posting Tate critical content. As for the bots, we have absolutely experienced this. Now, does Andrew Tate value free speech in the court of law? Ethan Klein had his own experience with this side of the top G.
I just got a cease and desist from Andrew Tate, which is so wonderful and ironic, isn't it? Because he's been crying about free speech being violated by being removed from social media. And lots of prominent people defending him. He even went on Fox News talking about how it's just not fair. His free speech is dead. What about my free speech, Andrew? And also, how beta is it to start crying to my attorney that please stop talking about me? Oh, yeah, Andrew, how about you cease and desist these nuts, okay?
Andrew never did cease and desist these nuts. He also sent a cease and desist to McHugh Jury and Partners, the lawyers representing Tate's alleged victims in the UK, pleading with the lawyers to stop advocating for their clients publicly or criticising Andrew's alleged pyramid scheme. Matthew Jury gave Andrew a more professional version of cease and desist these nuts. Andrew also sued his alleged trafficking victim, based in Florida, for defamation in what seems to be a frivolous lawsuit designed to intimidate her from testifying. So Andrew has shown himself in the courts to be very much anti-free speech. Let's look at one last example of how much Andrew values the free speech of others. But before we do, what was that you said about blocking points of view, Andrew?
Wow. I truthfully am a person who believes that all points of view are extremely important, because as soon as you block points of view, you have absolute tyranny.
Time to look at Andrew's love affair with the block function. He and his associates block any account who criticise them or contradict their narrative. Every account that criticises the Tates gets blocked. Big or small, or even just for making fun of him. You'll struggle to find anyone on the internet that uses the block function more than the Tates or their war room goons. If you too have been blocked by Tate, follow the account on X, Blocked by Tate, and share your receipts to add to the never-ending list. Andrew Tate is the last person on the internet who can cry about free speech. Just because you say you are a defender of free speech, it doesn't make it so. Same goes for you, Elmo. To take us out, I'll share with you my collection of Tate-affiliated blocks, some of which I never even interacted with.